Live from Music City, Nashville, Tennessee, this is your motivational, sensational, inspirational, educational, aspirational, international, keenly awaited, daily created, highly anticipated edition of the afternoon swing trading floor with your humble host, Jerremy Alexander Newsome, with another daily dose of mentally delicious brain food, reminding each of you to love life, live life, and trade it. What is going on, traders and friends, team and family fans from around the world? Hope you're doing delightful. We'll get some chat in today, but let's make it happen. To SPY, smaller candle. I did take some day trades today and didn't win on any of them, which is all good. But I did win on a closed out rookies JD.com option swing trade, and then I'll be setting up some trades today, and we'll talk through some stuff. But yeah, let's just go get into it really quickly. I mean, the SPY, really, really small candle, but in general, still looks like it could slowly bend higher. And I'm game for it to make new highs, continue to make new highs. And yeah, I'm just waiting it out. It looks pretty good. There'll be a spot where the top comes in, and I don't know where it will be, but I don't think we're extremely far away from it. I think a pullback at some point makes a lot of sense. So we will find out. And again, of course, that's just on the SPY in general. It doesn't have to be individual companies, right? Here's the Qs. QQQ had a big break out of the double bottom, had a nice little run there on the Qs for a bit. And now we're just compressing and trading sideways, which is nice. Dow Jones compression, IWM sideways compression. Nice little, wouldn't call it a double bottom necessarily, but it could retest and continue higher. Again, just looking at the broader markets, because I know a lot of you are in broader market stuff. So there we go. All right. A lot of gaps to talk about, so let's go do it. Here is AYX, and AYX is building some pressure, as they say. Trading sideways, not really doing that much. It did bounce off of 80 very nicely. We had a trader who was looking at buying it off of 80, and congratulations. This was Mr. Squiggles. Oops, sorry. On AYX, and he wasn't too far off. I don't think he got pretty close to that. Trade up higher, nice little pullback right into 80, and then is slowly bouncing. So if you are in AYX, awesome. If you're not, that's also equally awesome, I guess. Long-term moving average, the 200 simple is what it's working on bouncing off of. That's that area of support. So earnings is right around the corner. That is how we will find out what AYX does, I think, over the next few days or months, is based on kind of like earnings. I would assume it's going to gap down and trade higher, kind of like Tesla did today. It's at least the gap down portion hasn't traded higher yet. But yeah, we'll see what AYX does. Right now, some consolidation's happening, and this is a nice buy low, sell high accumulation spot. There's a lot of stocks in this little sideways Bollinger Band accumulation area right now. A lot of the stocks that we follow, so it'll be interesting to see how they play out. Limited brands, AKA L brands, AKA Mike's favorite store to shop at. Look at limited brands just lightsabering after COVID. I mean, it's straight up. Oh man, the pullback on some of these are going to be so weird. Yeah, it's huge. It's huge. It's from $10 to 67. That's 500%. Weekly chart, strong trend. Daily chart, strong trend. Yeah, amazing. I mean, just huge. Since it hasn't stopped since February either. It had a pullback in January, and that was it. So if you play this particular retail name instead of one of the like the tech, SPAC, energy, medical companies, well done. I did not, but man, that thing worked out really, really well. So anyway, I don't know how to play it up here, I guess is the answer, other than just probably waiting. Yeah. That's all I can say. Wait. And if you're in some shares, probably get into some type of collar, because that's relatively unsustainable. I mean, that's faster than any move up it's had in history. It's almost faster than any down move too. It's amazing. All right, MOGO, a finance rental leasing company. This is the monthly chart. MOGO, a relatively interesting breakout, if I do say so myself. Double bottom down here, big moves, bold levels, heroic high wave candle right there last week. So this is the weekly. Here's the daily. I like the look of this. It is gapping down a little bit, but it bounced off of a random moving average last week from 670. Well, yeah, 650 to 850 realistically. And I think I'd like one more stab at that. That looks good. I like it. I'd have to kind of verify when earnings are, but I really do like that weekly chart. The weekly chart looks good. Daily chart's trying to kind of form a little bit of a double bottom, buy into a little bit of weakness on a pullback. Could be pretty. So MOGO going on the list for tomorrow. All right. MOGO. All right. Next is ABS. This was one of my losing day trades today. Although I did know it was going to retest, I did not play it the right way, I don't think. Here is the moving averages on the daily charts. I'll just hide them. And they were just acting as a really strong resistance. With yesterday's close, I mean, yesterday closed above this candle, this candle, this candle. I figured it would retest and then maybe pop higher. I just really did not take into effect enough those daily moving averages. So I did play everything according to my plan. Here is the MOMO chart, and MOMO was bullish on the extended hours and it went bullish on the non-extended hours. And that's where I got in bullish. So you had a little bit of a double bottom here, closed with a neckline, retested and got in as it moved up, but just got in, I guess, too late. Even though this was also a potential bigger double bottom, it closed and everything above there just didn't work. So did lose small on apps, 0.56R or something like that. So relatively small loss, and it was good to get stopped out of it. It just didn't work from there. So I guess I just bought too high on that one. Now, as far as a day trader, as far as a swing trade is concerned, pretty much an inside, yeah, almost a perfect inside bear candle. So inside bearish candle today, almost pressure hanging out. Otherwise, looks nice, bouncing off the 100. Here's your higher low, relative high. If it breaks down, it could retest that 100 again as a potential bounce. I mean, it bounced there nicely last week. And if we break out of here with any type of gap, it'll just keep going. So Digital Turbine, AKA some marketing, looks pretty cool and has done its thing adequately. Unity Software, man, this thing is really building some pressure. There's a lot of these stocks that are. It's going to be fun. I'm excited about whatever happens. It'd be quite amazing if we continue higher. I will say that. But higher low, so higher low, lower high, compression station. That's exactly right. Trading sideways. Now, I know a lot of you are accumulating some shares of this one, which I think is smart. I'm up to 101 shares on Unity. So the accumulation is beginning for me as well. Double bottom looking cute. Weekly chart looks good. Long term, I think people like this company a lot, and I'm willing to hold through some retracement, but in general, it looks pretty good. So Unity, I do have some positions in a little bit of a longer term, kind of like a position trade, not specifically like a short term. Let me get in, let me get out type of trade. CHWY's out of support. It almost hit the 200 something moving average, which was at 76. And that's pretty much about it on CHWY. I mean, earnings were just in March, so you have forever to go on this one. One of two choices, probably bull put spread. You could also do a bear call spread. If you don't want to do that, you could just do bull put spreads or put sales. If you don't want to do that, you could be in shares and have some covered calls. Be patient on it. CHWY had an amazing run up from September to February. It went up 117%. And then since February, it's pulled back 36%. So something to keep in mind. let it chop around, let it consolidate, let it do its thing, and then we'll find out what she does from there. All right, Virgin Galactic, SPCE. Here is the 100 simple on a weekly chart already coming into fruition, mostly because of all this data over here that wasn't really accurate. Anyway, 1915, relatively cool support. Daily chart on Virgin Galactic, some interesting support candles. Things look good. I have no idea if it's going to trade much lower than this, but it's a pretty massive pullback. I mean, 65% relatively death spiral. You know, your boy SRB was selling some shares. I don't know. It just looks like this pattern and this pattern is the exact same, where we're right here in this pattern. It just looks like we're down. Like this pivot right there was this pivot right there. Broke the 200, broke the 200. It can bounce. It'd be one of those, I wouldn't say surprising. It wouldn't be a massive surprise, but it can definitely go higher. So if we reclaim the 200 or start gapping or retesting or pulling back, I think Virgin Galactic could be an interesting play. It's not super expensive, but that is what I got. All right, Virgin Galactic, interesting to watch. Very, very fun. APH. Look at this one. APH. Weekly chart. Derek says, this is my baby. All right. Well, it did make a new high today. Let's see. Electronic components. Amphenol. I like it. Look at that trend. It's been around forever. Derek says they did a 2-for-1 split. Yes, they did right there. Okay. Oh, nice. All right. So after they did the split, it actually bounced. That's fun. That's good. Mike says they make great multi-point connectors. Multi-pin connectors. Yeah, I like that. I mean, it looks good to me. Double bottom here, good consolidation level there. Nice little pivot. We did kind of bounce off of there. So if it pulls back to 66, that could also be a good spot. Sounds like a lot of you guys like this company as far as just its product and what it does, which if that's the case, buy low, sell high. It is high right now, and this is a very nice evening star reversal. Doesn't mean that you can't be in longer term. Just understand that it could pull back. I think earnings were today, this morning, maybe. Come over here, because if not, this could be a pretty interesting gap if it gaps up. All right, APH. And they pay a pretty healthy dividend. Yeah, I don't think they've had earnings yet. So that could come out later this week. So in general, my thoughts on this one, yeah, if it gaps up, it's probably going to continue higher. If it gaps down, most likely buyable. Buy low, sell high. Strong support, great trend, looks pretty. My boy John Thaxty says 8 a.m. tomorrow. Nice. Well, there you go. Gentlemen, have fun. Nice 2-for-1 split. I like it. Derek says they were paying a 50-cent dividend before the split. Nice. All right. Get it. All righty, ladies and gentlemen. Fake internet money. Bitcoin at 55,000 to the penny. Look at that. That's a cool mark in history. We can say at 4:15 Central on April 27th, Bitcoin was exactly at 55,000 to the penny for 3 whole seconds. Watched it on film. Anyway, so BTCUSD is chilling at the 100. Really, it needs a consolidation. Again, most of you out there are just accumulating it, buying some every week or ever so often, and just letting it do its thing. Weekly chart, I mean, still looks good. Actually does, I think, has one more high left in it before it starts, you know, really kind of slowing down or trading sideways. But look at that monthly chart. I mean, no asset class in the world has ever done what Bitcoin's done. Just one of the most interesting charts and phenomenons to study. Jay says lumber, not even lumber. No, but lumber has gone up. But not like Bitcoin, man. Nothing in the world. Anyway, looking good. Fun times. Ethereum. Oh, Ether made a new all-time high today. 2683. It looks like it's just going to keep going. Incredible. I am in. I do have a position. I am long. I am strong. So ETH is going to hit 50,000 in a decade. So do that for whatever you want. Use that knowledge for whatever you want to use it for. Could easily hit 4,000 this year. I mean, the year is just beginning. It's April. Someone like on Twitter was like, it's going to hit 20,000 by December. I'm like, nah, dog, not 20,000. Calm down. Calm down. But I do like it. I mean, it's extremely, yes, it's extremely high. It is up there. So the pullbacks on these asset classes can be gnarly McNarly town, but I do think it's just kind of getting going. Fedor says 50,000 in 10 years in what currency? Valid question compared to the US dollar. Fedor says probably I will be on Mars at that time. Maybe. I'm going to say no. I'll take that. I'll take the downside on that bet. Yeah. I do love you though, man, but you're not going to be on Mars, and very, very few people will be on Mars in 10 years. So, but maybe 35 years, probably. Yeah. All right. So anyway, Ethereum, I'm bullish on it. Own some. Salesforce, CRM. Salesforce. It's a nice double bottom. Really nice candles. Back-to-back hammers. Edward missed this one by 20 cents on that pullback. Pretty brutal miss. But at least you still have some. Hector Hernandez loves some Salesforce as well long-term. Trend looks really nice. Chart looks nice. This is obviously some type of big flag pattern on a monthly chart, something like that. Looks like a flag pattern on the monthly. Really good distribution. Man, moving averages look clean on the inside, clean on the outside. I dig it. I'm a fan. So if you're in long, well done. Above the long-term moving averages, which is nice. And again, you got some hammers, you got some lower shadows. Looks good. All right. Next on the list is Neo. Sorry, back to this. Ed says, I have a target of 250 on my 2/30 January calls. Is that a good target? Yes. Yes, it is. Neo, aka the chosen one. So Neo, man, what a brilliant, brilliant accumulation this thing is having. Really, really nice. That 200 simple moving average, really chilling. Calming down, pulling into the 200, compressing. Nice hammer, nice areas. Jay says, I want to buy this pullback on Neo. Yeah, a lot of people do. And it makes sense, man. I totally get it. So yeah, pull back into here somewhere would be nice. The compression looks beautiful. Earnings are this week, and I'm extremely interested to see what happens. So if you want to, yeah, you're probably just gonna have to keep waiting. I mean, to sell like calls on it or something like that. Justin says, would you hold Neo through earnings if you already own it? Most likely, you probably own it less than $41 a share. So I'd probably say yes. I think in this case, if it gapped down, it'd probably gap down worst case at 36. I don't see it gapping down at 32. That'd be just like a disastrously bad gap. I mean, I don't. I don't see it doing that. Yeah. So if your cost basis is anywhere under 40, I'd probably just sweat it out and enjoy. Hopefully it crushes. Jay's going to be selling some $32 puts. There you go, Jay. Right on. Yeah. All right. So here is US Steel, ticker symbol X. Yeah, looks cool. Hector, are you still in yours? In your US Steel? I know you did some really cool covered calls and a pretty nice collar. In general, it's just trading sideways. Hector says he is still in. Earnings in a few days from now, possible double bottom. Not really sure what US Steel would do, but I would want to buy it off of this blue line if I was day trading it or swing trading it or trying to accumulate. The blue line's at 1981 and the 200 simple is at 2025. There is a lot of support there. So if it got down there, you could start considering doing something for sure. CrowdStrike, CRWD. So CrowdStrike gapped up, pulled back today. I think most of you who are looking at playing CrowdStrike are probably vying for this little area right here. That'd be my guess. This thing did bounce off of the 100 simple moving average. A lot of people like CrowdStrike. I mean, this is one without question that can go higher. Internet cyber security. Right? I mean, it's kind of important. It's probably going to be around for a while. Cybersecurity, you would have to guess. So yeah, if I was looking at playing this one, I would be looking at buying the dip. Gorgeous IPO low break. Very, very beautiful break out of this resistance. So it broke out, it retested a few times and then bounced. That was nice. My girl Leah says, I have a beautiful collar on CrowdStrike. All right. Awesome. I mean, hey, this is a great spot to get into one. So I like it. Hector says, does the 180 gap fill on CrowdStrike? At some point, yes. Yeah, at some point. Not entirely sure when, but it could do something like this, or we distribute a little bit longer, get a little bit of a bigger pullback, and towards the end of the year and start bouncing. Like something like that's very plausible. Yeah, it could happen. All right. IIPR, not totally sure what innovative industrial properties is going to do, but looks like a flag pattern. Daniel says this one's a pot stock. Oh, that makes sense. Innovative industrial properties in air quotes. What do you do? We innovate land innovation. Mike says sophisticated name for hash. Sammy says, so it's weed farms. No, we innovate land. Yeah, it's weed farms. Now, here is the weekly chart on innovative industrial properties. Apparently, weed farms, that's the way to go. I missed this boat because I'm an idiot. But that makes sense. Like if I had known a little bit more about this company, I think I would have bought this. I'm sure I've looked at it before, but I just maybe didn't put the pieces together. But doing the land for weed, yes. There's so many ways that you can make money on that. I mean, yeah. It was innovative at the time and still looks like it is. Wow. Good for this company. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I guess long story short, a little bit of a bear flag. You're probably having small positions here. It, like so many other things, is forming this big symmetrical triangle. And I do not know how the triangle is going to break, but I would have to assume bullish. Zach says more dispensaries around me than Starbucks. Nice. Which one do you go to more, Zach? That's the question that we all want to know. Sammy says both, bro. Go to a dispensary and then go to Starbucks. That's how you start Thursdays. Jay says Budweiser sold and bought weed farms a year ago. Of course. Absolutely they did. They need to. They should. I'm glad they are. All right. Grubhub. Ticker symbol GRUB. Sideways. Chilling. Not much hanging out on this one. Interesting double bottom. I did play Grubhub. I had some shares here and I sold those shares there at 68. Got very lucky. Got very lucky on that move, but could have gotten back in really somewhere over here. This one way I told you. Anyway, Grubhub is going to have earnings. I played it on the last earnings and went down, ended up dollar cost averaging and then making a little bit of money. But, oh, wow, look at this retest, this huge double bottom. That makes sense. That's where I did buy my other leg of shares. When I was playing that, was just right there. Yeah, no idea, but I would be surprised if they didn't do good on earnings, and I don't know if they're going to gap up or gap down on earnings, but I would assume they're going to make some money. Nobody wants to drive anywhere. It's all about that Grubhub, bro. All right, SOS Limited. We've been looking at this one almost on a daily level, and it's still there. Right at the 100 simple moving average, retesting the retest gap from Monday. Is it going to bounce? That's the question. It should at this level. This is where it's supposed to, if it's going to, of course. If it's going to. I don't think it does, unfortunately, but I hope it does for those who are in it. Man, SOS. Got to be careful when the ticker of the company spells help. That's just one of my go-to rules. You know, like if the ticker says poop, I'm probably not going to buy a bunch. Just, yeah, would make tons of sense. 100 simple on a weekly chart is 312. $3.12. So if you're buying, you're probably looking at buying a little bit now, a little bit here, and then having your stop at 2, and then best of luck. All right, Amazon, AMZN. Amazon earnings is around the corner. And I don't think the split is real news. And I know you guys don't want me to say this, but I'm just in my level of being transparent. I threw 2 more R's to this trade. 2 more R's down the tubes. Here we go. But I got a 4,000, 4,500 July debit spread. We'll see. I mean, if they have good earnings, right? If they gap out of here, because one day it's going to work. This is a true statement. One day that debit spread will work. It will, you know, so I can lose 3 or 4 or 5, 6, 7 times in a row, but eventually it'll work out. A lot of you are still in the $4,000 June calls. Guys, this is it. This is the only shot that we have. The only shot that we have for those to hold to work is it gaps up above 3,600 on earnings. And they announce a split. If it does that, hold, because it could go in the money. Now, I know they're drastically reducing in value, so I got some more. It's not the most expensive trade in the world, personally. I'm okay to hold over earnings and maybe a split announcement. This is my plan. If this, right, if it does not gap up nicely on earnings, and if it actually gaps down, I'll just close out that trade for probably a 1R loss, most likely in May, and then re-get in when it gets back down to support. Amazon is trading in a very, very nice channel. It's an obvious channel too. Resistance, support, very, very clean. So the only way Amazon really crushes is if it has a great gap. And yeah, if they announce a split, it's party time. Edward says, is it too late to get in? No, dude. No, I got in like today at some point. So I am risking 2 R's on it. As of now, I don't plan on adding to it unless some type of good gap happens. Daniel says, how do you play the split announcement? Buy up into the actual day of the split as hard as you can. Then sell before the split actually happens. You can play shares or calls, doesn't really matter, because I'll be selling before the actual split and then rebuying after about a week or two after the split actually happens. Just like Tesla. Do you guys remember? Type in a 3 if you remember how we played Tesla on that day. I made like 90 grand when that happened. Like just playing this little move right here, bought all we could afford. That's when the getting was good in the market. And then right when the split happened, we sold and it had an absolute tanking, and I rebought down here at 330 during the Nashville retreat in September. Classic. That's when the market was easy. Anyway, speaking of, might as well look at Tesla. So Tesla gapping down, and I did sell some puts on it today. So Tesla is down. I sold some 550 May and some 525 June. And I'm starting to buy some shares. I figured it would gap down on earnings. I do think it can go a little bit lower. If it takes out this candle, it closed below this candle for the first time actually ever. It's never closed below that candle until today. So I do think Tesla can go a little bit lower on this earnings announcement. I think it can come all the way back down to 650, 640, something like that. So just FYI, you'll have to hold through a little bit of red on Tesla, but as it pulls back, that'll be kind of the level that I will be accumulating. And I'll probably have 300 shares in Tesla by the time it gets to 600. If it gets to 600 again, keyword if it gets back down to 600. So I'm personally starting letting the leg in process begin. Another thing to keep in mind though, and I know there's a lot of Tesla fans, but we do have a lower high. So yeah, let's see what happens. All right, grow generation. No, US global investors. Probably weed stock. Edward says, who is coming to the Tahoe retreat in all caps? That's a good question. Who is going? If you want more information on the Tahoe retreat, it's on our main website. If you pop down here, bang, right there, July 11th through the 16th. It's amazing. It's fun, and it's super exciting. You should all come. It'll be amazing. Especially if you've never been to one yet. If you've never been to a retreat, it's time to get out the house. People are vaccinated. Masks are coming off. Edward says, I'm donating a Tesla tequila for auction. You're going to want to bid on it. Yes. Yeah. Zach says, bro, they have slots? I think Harrah's has some slots. Bam says, I don't think Toronto will be out of lockdown by then. Hey, they better. July? I hope so. I hope so. But if they don't, I promise, Pam, I will come up to Canada at some point. As soon as Canada opens its borders and like they start being a normal country again, I will have a retreat in Canada and it'll be amazing. I can't promise the city, but I can guarantee I'll be in Canada. It'll either be in Toronto, Montreal, or Vancouver. One of those three, guaranteed. So just FYI. Anyway, I hope you guys all can come to Tahoe. It's going to be amazing. Grow generation. If you're playing this one, US global investors, buy a pullback at about $6. Buy low, sell high. That'll pretty much be it. Okay, Apple, AKA the largest company in the world. Apple trading sideways. This was a day trade that Lucian took early this morning. It was a really good trade too. So he was analyzing it right about here and bought that pullback, a little bit of a double bottom, and just it slowly bounced for about an hour and some change. So good trade on Apple, but yeah, I mean, earnings, you know, hours away from now. We'll find out what it does. I'm very intrigued about a gap. It probably gaps up and trades down, or gaps down and trades up. Either way, it most likely fades the gap. I love Apple long term, but I personally am going to be waiting until it gets to the 200 to really, really size into Apple. I guess it's never going to go to 100. I don't think it ever sees 100 ever again. Because the tech rotation was gnarly, but you know, that was as much as a pullback as Apple could get, was only 20%, which is nothing. My boy Edward Lin has collared his Apple position. Nice. Nice. Well done. All right. Palantir, PLTR. I heard Stephen King has some shares. Robert has some shares. I snagged some shares. Jason has some call options. Edward has some shares. We will see if this one does anything. Obviously, we all know that it needs to hold 21. Hector has some leaps on it. One way to find out, my friends. There is one way to find out. And that's by waiting. So we'll see. Right now, it is as sideways as a rattlesnake that swallowed a pancake that lives in Texas. They got run over by a semi. It's really sideways. So I would agree with Hector. Don't look at it for 3 months. Come back later and see what it does. BNGO, aka BioNano, aka Bingo, aka the Death Star. This is an interesting play. I actually am going to keep an eye on this one. This is a really, really cool candle, and I like this pattern a lot, right at the 100. This is worth watching for sure. Even if it's just a quick like bang, 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 bang. Even if this thing is as fast as Leah and her new Tesla, I'm watching to see if it can just kind of bounce, see what it can do. Edward got in today. Hector got in today. We'll see if it pops out. 30-minute chart looks good. Oh, gotcha. You're borrowing it from Craig. Cool. Well, it still probably won't be too long until you buy one, if we're being honest. They're pretty awesome, right? This thing did go bullish Momo on April 22nd. Trade sideways and had a really good pop yesterday. So yesterday was a great pop, and then just kind of retesting. So BioNano, I mean, I think this is worth keeping an eye on. Absolutely. So don't get caught sleeping on BioNano. Next on the list, ChargePoint Holdings. I use a ChargePoint this weekend. I'm very happy that I had the adapter, but I didn't like it. It was like, what was the point? It was the slowest charge of all time. But I did find out, Hector, that it was free. So that's nice. Didn't get charging thing for us. I guess that's the bonus. I guess if you have free charging, you can expect it to go slow. So it was 9 miles an hour. Anyway, I'm cool with it. I get it. I am very, very intrigued by this company. I think this is a buyout waiting to happen. I don't know if it's going to be Blink or ChargePoint or Tesla or who or how, but yeah, I think this is going to be a buyout waiting to happen. Yeah. Pam says, why are there so many e-circles down here? I have no idea why they have all these earnings statements down here. I don't think any of them are correct. Derek says it's either going to be ChargePoint or Blink. Yeah, they're both really battling for that space. I don't know if they're both going to win or if one buys out one of the other. I'm really not sure. But anyway, I wouldn't say anything extremely negative about it other than I'm very happy that I had 15 minutes. I knew how to use my cell phone very well. I'm glad I had service, and I'm glad I had adapter. If none of those things were the case, I would not have used ChargePoint. So if you're not good with technology and you're not awesome with apps and email and verification and downloading and messages and two-factor auth and all that good stuff, oh, don't expect a lot on them from earnings. I mean, I didn't really pay anything for the service. So, all right, BILI. This is an inverted head and shoulders pattern, and this is 5 bullish candles in a row. So you probably don't want to buy it right here. I would buy a pullback on BILI for those who are interested in trading this one. Nice inverted head and shoulders pattern. Really, really beautiful trend. Weekly chart is a powerhouse, and boy, oh boy, that thing is looking fresh. So we will see what it does. Buy a pullback. It looks really good. Airbnb, highly contemplating throwing some shares into Airbnb at this price around about nice little hammerino right there on April 26th. Good looking candle today. I'm intrigued by this one. I mean, it's a nice channel for the moment. It pulled down to support. It's working on bouncing, buy low, sell high. Could trade all the way back up to here. You know, Airbnb going to survive, going to be great long term. That's all I got on Airbnb. QDEL, this thing has been getting smashed. Gap down on that earnings, gap down on that earnings. Yeah. I mean, of all the health companies that we're in that should be going higher that aren't, at least we're not in this one. Very gappy, has been around forever. Yeah, super gappy. So anyway, I don't know. Monthly chart. Yeah, I guess we'll just keep waiting on it. Isn't a power downtrend right now. Power downtrend. So give it some time. Don't try to buy that one too aggressively. I mean, literally you would probably want to buy like a share a week, you know, if you're in. So yeah, let that one just keep obliterating the bulls. Now, Snapchat, I am going to begin to watch this one very, very closely. I like this gap. I like this gap. I like this inside candle. I like this candle. I like the volume. This is one I do like. Plus, you got this guy. Pennant pattern, the 100, all the things. This is certainly worth keeping on your scope. So Tuesday, let's put this on our list. Sorry, tomorrow. Most likely a swing. Yeah, just a swing trade. I don't know if we'll longer term it. Zach says Marley crushed this one in April. Did she sell? Did she buy and sell? Wow, amazing. Great trade. Yeah, I went from 50 to 64. That's incredible. 2 R's. Good for her. Dang. Shoot, I wish I could do that. I need to get good at this stuff. All right, nice neckline, good candle, good volume, pretty. Let's go. Fire eye. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. This thing. Fire eye. Just go already. It's a snake, says Leah. I'm a snake. I'm a silly snake. Fire eye. I know too many random YouTube videos. Really trading sideways. I mean, yeah, not much is happening on this one at all. Earnings, I mean, I said this the same thing last time on earnings. If you were to play a call option trade just in case, this would probably be it. I'd probably play with smaller size, but the trend is bullish and it is getting ready to do something maybe one day, possibly. That's all I got on Fire Eye. If it doesn't gap up nicely on this earnings, I think it's going to be another dud snake until June. It beat earnings and it still didn't gap up. Oh, Mo, I am not in this one. Not right now. No. FireEye always lets me down. Oh, it did. Dud City. Man. So FireEye, if you're going to be in it, that's fine. Give yourself like 900 years for it to go up. 900 years. All right. We have 3 left. EXPI. Let's go. So this thing looks okay so far. I did miss a third pyramid. This is true by 24 cents. Low was 31.20. My entry was 30.94. So that's brutal. Didn't come down 25.65, which is cool. Chris is in, very nice. So I'll probably just kind of like take the other two pyramids and just kind of like tiptoe in a share here or there. Looks pretty, looks ripe, looks ready. Longer term, like position trades / monthly swing trade should be good. And I think we're good on that. Hi, I'm JD with JD.com. JD.com had a great gap up today. Ricky Cadden had a weekly options newsletter on this one. Myself and a few other traders went ahead and took the profit. The reason I took the profits on this one is because I missed my move on AMD today. And apparently whatever I touched turned into dust. So since that happened, I was like, you know what? Let me just take the gain on JD so I don't just hemorrhage money all day long. I did exit our which one was it? STNE swing trade today. So that happened. I exited that, JD calls, so I'm going to be up small. So that was nice on STNE. And we did miss our target on AI. I mean, guys, by the closest of margins. Look at this. Look at this, right? What? 40 cents? Brutal. It just opened and died. So AI most likely will be exiting that one before May, I would assume, even if it's just for a small like 2-hour win. And then FROG had an absolute beating today, retesting that retest gap, and probably gonna end up winning small on that one as well. So we'll see. Only a few days left until the end of the month. But yeah, that's the analysis on JD. Now, obviously, if you're up more than I am, there's a lot of traders that are. By the way, there are about 30 traders that I know right now on a first name basis that are up 30 hours or more this month. So some of us, I mean, April's just been weird for me in general. There's been a lot of random things happen in my life. But for those of you who are up, congratulations, high five, amazing, amazing job. And for those of us who are up small, amazing battle. And for those of us who are down, solid. Mike says, did you say 30? Yeah. Yeah, ma'am. I was chatting with a gentleman yesterday. It was up 33 Rs for the month. So they're playing more bigger name companies. Google, Amazon, Q's. You guys saw Amazon for April, right? It's literally just gone straight up. You guys seen this? Going from here to here? It's straight up. Did you guys see Facebook for this month? Facebook, hello, straight up. Google hasn't stopped once. Q's, I mean, April 1st and just gone to the win. Again, it just depends on what you guys are in. That's all. Pinterest. I don't have any position on Pinterest right now. I did get on my Pinterest over here, very low, like a bum, but what are you going to do? So gapping down. What I'm looking for it to do is gap down. It's going to be a strong gap and go tomorrow. Looking for a potential fade up, and then I'm going to buy some puts and short it on the way down. And then I will look to go long around this area. This is something that I'm going to keep my eyes on. This is where I'd look to go long, is around this 58 price range. So I am fully out of my Pinterest, and I'm waiting for it to go lower. So decent gap. They had good earnings. They really did, but it's just so high. So it just needed to rest. That's really it. So Pinterest, we will find out what it does and we'll kind of get it from there. Lance says, I missed the AI price update. So I got out yesterday with a 2R win. It's because you're smart, Lane. It's because you're smart. Did I call you Lance? What's up? I'm Lance. But yeah, good job, Lane. That's awesome, man. Way to play. That's the way I should have exited, but I guess I'm an idiot. Mo says, Jay, is it high from a valuation perspective? It's high from a market cap perspective. I mean, it quadrupled its market cap in the last year. It's just a lot, you know? It's like 80 billion and some change. So it just needs to consolidate and do its thing. All right, last but not least on the day, AMD. Amazing gap. I knew they're going to crush earnings. I'm pretty sure all of us knew they're going to crush earnings. I am in this. I absolutely have positions in AMD. It is a gap and go, but it's not going to go up that much. I don't think I'm going to short it tomorrow, but it probably will go up to about 90 and then it'll start to fade because this is going to be its max range for the day at open. It's going to be $3, $3.50. So it'll pretty much be its max range on daily candles tomorrow. But it can go higher. I'm not going to necessarily short it. I'm just going to sit back and watch and see what it does tomorrow. I won't take any profits. I got a May 92.50 covered call. So if your covered calls are profitable, feel free to buy them back. They might not be, but if it does fade back down and I can buy back them for a profit, amazing. If I can't, guys, if I get called away at 92.50, I'd be very profitable in that position. And I wouldn't cry about that in the slightest. In the slightest. It'll be a really, really good game. So buy low, sell high, you know. The only losing options trade I've had on AMD is when I bought puts right here on March 8th. The rest, I mean, short calls and collars has been working out really, really well. And short puts. A lot of short puts on AMD. But that's a great gap. I'm really interested to see what happens. Probably runs up to 91 and then eventually fades back down to 86 and then maybe goes higher. Edward says, so I got put shares and then I might get called away. All the shares I got, I'll be profitable. Maybe I should do this more often. Buy low, sell high, man. Buy low, sell high. That'll definitely make a few people's day here RLT with that gapping up. I know a lot of people are in Pinterest. So congratulations, my friends. Congrats. All right, tomorrow, Energy Wednesday. What am I looking at? I can definitely look at AMD again, Roku for sure, Google, absolutely. Datadog, Ethereum again, NNDM, Enphase Energy, JMI, Riot, NE, Fuel Cell, Plug, Boeing, Apps, Stellar Lumen, Teladoc is going to have earnings this week. First Solar, JKS, GE, ARLP, BNB, got it. Zoom, CleanSpark. Awesome. Well, Squadron, you know where I will be tomorrow. Same time, same place. Very ecstatic until then. Also, keep an eye out for a link. There's a 99% chance I'll be having a reveal party tonight for the gender of my baby who's going to be born in September. We'll see you guys later. Until then, bye.